So let's talk about the Shakur Stevenson versus Isak Cruz fight, which has been mandated by the WBC. There was some rumors that Isak Cruz's, I guess, senior, his pops was gonna try to put a kibosh to this fight. There was a tweet that went out and said that basically, I really don't want to see my son fight Shakur Stevenson. I'd rather see him fight Lomachenko. This would be sort of like a dog kind of chasing the cat around the ring. If it's true, I think he does kind of recognize the boxing prowess that Shakur Stevenson brings to the ring, and I think that he would have a considerable size and reach advantage over Isak Cruz if they do fight in there. But let's go the casual one. Do you see this fight happening in 2023?
Nah, I think Cruz is gonna step aside, and I honestly I understand. You know what I'm saying? I might not agree, but I understand because styles makes fights, right? That's what everybody say. And then everybody, and I was reading some posts on Facebook for boxing groups, and they brought up the like Mexican style. A lot of fans like the Mexican style, meaning that they like to just stand, just the rock'em sock'em type fight that Mexican style, like Mexican fighters has historically brought. And then they call like the slick Mayweather or the slick Haney, they call it running. And which is crazy to me, but you know what I'm saying? That's how they see it. And that's how Cruz see it. He sees, or Cruz's father sees it, that look, man, Shakur is a slick, strong fighter, you know what I'm saying? Where Isak may be like the pit bull, where he's just gonna sit there and want to brawl with you, where Shakur is not gonna brawl with you. So he don't have, like, Cruz don't have any kind of advantage going into that fight. So he wants to set his fighter, his son up with another brawling type fighter. So it's a show, and he will get, you know what I'm saying? Even if he loses, he'll have a good showing. But if against a real slick fighter that's going to feed him a jab all day, he's going to look mediocre. And I see his father just making a good business decision.
Well, let me just jump in here just for our listeners' sake here. I'm on boxingnews24.com, and in an article written by Dan Ambrose, he has a screen capture of a tweet or a Twitter or a tweet from somebody named Yulisa Mafania. And within the Yulisa Mafania tweet, she is quoting, or this person is quoting, Isak Cruz Sr. So this is not a tweet from any kind of verified account. This isn't anything that's coming from a reporter or a boxing news outlet. This is somebody named Yulisa Mafania who is quoting Cruz. So again, when it comes to the veracity of what Isak Cruz Sr. apparently is saying, I think take it with a grain of salt. We have no idea with no way of confirming that Isak Cruz actually said that. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko both work for the same guy, right? These guys are in no position to go to Bob Arum and be like, "Nah, we don't want to fight Shakur. We want to fight Lomachenko instead." Like it's absurd, you know. You're gonna fight who Bob Arum says you're gonna fight. So it doesn't, and all that shit about dogs chasing cats and all that bullshit. That's all duck language. Is all that is.
Yeah.
It's all duck
but so this is from Bob Arum.
Like Brady said. You said what?
So this is from Bob Arum speaking to Fight Hype. This is only a few days ago. When talked about if he thinks this fight will happen. Bob Arum says, "I don't think so. I don't think Cruz is really anxious to fight him because I don't think anybody's really anxious to fight Shakur. So I don't think that fight will happen. I think we'll go in a different direction for Shakur because there are 4 sanctioning bodies." Said Arum when asked what happens when a sanctioning body orders a fight, but the promoters don't want to make the contest. So I think that.
So my thing is Cruz is actually high. It was since Shakur is moving up until 140, right? On what was it, 135?
135.
Yeah, 130. He's moving up, so he's like at number what? 6 or 5?
Stand by. 135, and which sanctioned by? This was the WBC, correct? Shakur is ranked number 3 in the WBC.
And Cruz is what?
Cruz is 2, and Loma is 1.
That is new because last week it was Shakur was like 5.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. No, because they had Zepeda. I think Zepeda.
Well, Zepeda is ranked at 4.
Yeah,
in the WBC.
So I think if as a mandatory, if the sanctioning body calls for that fight and you back out, I think you should lose your standing. So I think Shakur.
Oh yeah, that's like you must have read my mind. It's just what the fuck I was going to say.
So
and the only way that they're going to take the sanctioning body seriously is if they start doing shit like that. Like Jaime Munguia's punk ass. Drop him from the motherfucking rankings. I don't want to derail us here, but guys like that, you need to drop them.
I totally agree, but you know what I'm saying. But in this situation, in this specific situation, is kind of moot because Lomachenko Haney is in negotiation. So,
right.
So if Isak backs out of Stevenson fight for the mandatory position, that just pushing Stevenson to the mandatory for the Lomachenko Haney winner.
Well, again, it doesn't push him to the mandatory. It might push him higher in the rankings.
But
right?
Yeah, higher in. But that was
the sanctioning body has to order a mandatory. Just because you're the number 1 doesn't mean
it
you're
might
the
be against Zepeda. Instead of being Isak Cruz, it might be Zepeda.
Well, Zepeda getting ready to get a hole punched in his face by Regis. I think Regis is gonna punish Zepeda, and I don't think Zepeda is gonna be running to get into a Shakur Stevenson fight. So I don't know. I don't know what happens here.
That's at 140 though, right? Am I sure?
You're talking about Jose Zepeda.
No, William Zepeda.
William Zepeda at 135. Jose Zepeda.
Yeah.
Jose Zepeda. So yes. Yo, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right, Cam. Sorry, my fault. William Zepeda. So you could be right, Randy. So it might end up being William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson in a vacant because I suspect Devin Haney will vacate after he jabs Lomachenko's face off here.
Yeah, I think
in a few months. He vacates. You get Shakur versus Zepeda on ESPN. No fuss for a vacant WBC shot. It's probably how that will go. You're right.
I agree with it.
So let's move on to our next hard-hitting topic. So it looks like that we are going to get another view of Gervonta Tank Davis, generational power. He is set to fight on January the 7th in Washington, D.C.
Jesus Christ.
At this point, yeah.
Who's there?
I'm gonna be there.
The pundits are gonna be there. Well, it depends on
something live. I'll go by Randy's place and we can do something live. I am not going within 20 miles of wherever this nigga and all them crazy Baltimore niggas is gonna be. If Dave can hook us up with some tickets, some good tickets, maybe. But nigga, look, you better tape some magazines to your chest. You're going into that. Going in.
Oh boy. It's gonna be hood now. It's gonna be hood.
We'll be in Randy's house. Bring it
in. And you know, Tank Davis is from Baltimore, which is.
But you know who they say he's supposed to be fighting?
Now I heard Rolly.
Ooh.
I heard Rolly getting a rematch. They're gonna run this shit back with Rolly.
No way.
Who would you hear? And where'd you hear this shit from?
It's just rumors.
Tell it. Who?
Gary Russell Jr.
Oh, I'm definitely not going nowhere near that shit if it's Gary Russell Jr. nigga.
Boy,
nah, we ain't going.
Bringing on the whole.
You must be out of your goddamn mind, Randy. You're going in that place.
I'm going.
So,
that shit gonna be a hood.
But just to be. So it says right here. This is on love one or hate one, boxing news and updates. So it says confirmed. I don't know about that. Showbiz the Adult has that, but I have a hard time believing that this is actually going to be. But it says right now, let me see. This is on boxing. This is the older, well, the younger brother, but the older one, Gary Antoine Russell, says that he wants Tank at 135. Gary Antoine Russell says he's willing to come down to 135 to face WBA regular
family wants some Tank
champion. Not to be mistaken with the older, much smaller brother, the former WBC featherweight. I just can't see, that smaller one fighting this. So maybe he is fighting Gary Russell Jr., but maybe not the Gary that we
they brought Leo up, didn't they? They brought Leo up and served Leo up to Tank. I mean, it's not out of the realm of, it's not out. It's definitely feasible. If they could bring Leo up, they could definitely bring Gary up and do that shit in DC, like at the convention center or some shit.
Convention center.
Lord have mercy.
Man, it's gonna be ratchet from 7th to 14th Street.
Yeah, and if you go over there, Randy, you better make sure you have your affairs in order. All that shit better be my student. Man, you listen, you better have
you said you better have your will and everything else taken care of.
All that shit taken care of. Power of attorney, all that shit better be in order.
It's gonna be hood.
That shit gonna be crazy as fuck. But rumor aside, if we take a look, well, not that these rankings really fucking matter when it comes to Tank and who they pick for his opponent, but who the fuck could it really be here? I mean,
it could just be a showcase fight, right?
It ain't gonna be Garcia.
Which Garcia? That Ryan Garcia shit is sounds like.
I mean, and for one, it's right. We're less than 8 weeks away from the fight, which is usually you got to do promotion. And this is even going beyond the training aspect of it. So whoever they agree to, first of all, it's not going to be somebody high profile like a Ryan Garcia, because they're going to want a big rollout for it.
Yeah, he's
going to want at least 8 to 10 weeks to train for the fight. He's going to want some negotiations to kind of go there, and I just that fight is definitely not happening. I think it's going to be a showcase fight on somebody who is just going to be happy to share the ring with Gervonta Davis.
The other name that I heard was the Dominican guy who upset Chris Colbert. This guy Hector Luis Garcia, who was the WBA champ at 130 pounds, who oddly enough took the Chris Colbert fight on very short notice, if I'm not mistaken, who is also a massive 130 pounder. That was the name that I saw being floated around today, Hector Luis Garcia. And really, that's the only viable option, I think. You know, Rolly just got stopped. You got Isak Cruz. I don't think that's a fight that you do in DC. Who knows? But Hector Luis Garcia is a PBC guy. He is a champion at 130 pounds. So maybe he gets a shot. And that's not an easy fight for old Tank. Hector Luis Garcia is a guy with, I believe, went to the Olympics for DR and has got a lot of amateur fights. He's got a lot of amateur fights, as Chris Colbert found out the hard way. This guy's not an easy out. So we'll see. But yeah, Randy, nice knowing you. And you go to that shit, homie.
Hey, Cameron gonna be there too.
Randy, you might cutting out.
I say Cameron gonna be there too.
If we can get tickets, then I'm gonna show up and show out, I think.
You gotta be good tickets though. We gotta hit up Dave. If that shit is true, we should text Dave. Dave might, well, maybe not now because he out in Cali dealing with that stuff. But when he get back, we're gonna have to hit him up and see if he can hook it up.
Hey man, you see Spence trying to sick Frank Martin on Tank. You're like, man, He was like,
no, Frank Martin getting ready to fight with Michelle Rivera though. So
but he's saying like down the road, he was like, Frank Martin gonna get you. And
that'd be a good. That might be a good scrap. That might be a good little scrap. But we gotta see. He's probably not even anywhere close to being on Tank's radar.
Yeah, I think he'll get Colbert though. I think that Frank Martin, Chris Colbert is going to be next. Sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Frank Martin will beat Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert is too busy playing fucking Xbox and all that shit. I can see Frank Martin beating Chris Colbert and Chris Colbert retiring.
Oh yeah, Cam, you didn't mention the undercard.
I haven't seen any news about it. I don't even want to put it. I've been searching. I haven't seen no news about it.
Yeah. Let's not be putting too much rumor out there. Yeah. But we did see news about Boots returning in January, right? Yeah. Was that news? And by news, I mean reported on a website or by a credible source, not your man with the fucking fitted cap from New York.
Who that?
Never mind. I don't see it. It's not on Boxing Scene. I don't see it on Bad Left Hook. I need to go get a motherfucking Twitter account.
I haven't seen. Yeah, the last thing that I've seen was that he was supposed to fight on December the 17th.
That's
Blue Blood. That's what I was telling y'all. Blue Blood.
On it. I guess, but there's nothing on there. I don't see any news about him fighting on there. I think that's
anything from any of the guys on Twitter, Michael Benson, Keith Idek, any of them characters.
Nah, nothing.
If not, I think that we should chalk that up to pure rumors at this point.
Yeah,
so we will see. We will see. We
only want to give you the real news. Right, there's nothing that's been confirmed out there, so we're gonna hold that. We don't want to be these clickbaits.
Now we don't want to be too clickbaity. Yeah. What else we got?
I think that's it for the night. I think we kind of run. We're about an hour and a half into it, but we've got a good 4 or 5 good segments for it, but we are. I think we're going to end on that note for then.
Yeah, my dog is looking at me like he about to shit right here on the floor in front of me here. So
yeah. I'm out of town right now, so I'm missing my pup right now, Aggie, but he's holding it down. As we hold it down for y'all, we will. This was a contentious night, as always.
It's not always. Whenever Crawford Spence come up, it's the only time it gets like that. Not the only time. Guaranteed.
But
shit.
It was a lively conversation. But hopefully, y'all, we brought something new to the table. I think that there was some new information that we did inject into this conversation around signature wins and legacy fight. So you, the audience, we actually want to hear from y'all. Tell us who you think are the signature wins for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And do you think that if they do not make this fight, will it have a negative impact on their legacy? With that said, always remember to hit that like button and subscribe and keep it popping with the pundits of pugilism. This is your man, Professor Nam, signing out for the Casual Rand.
Peace.
And Boston Jared.
Peace.
And we are out.